Oh, good evening, ladies and gentlemen. How are you tonight? I hope all is well. So happy to be here with you again. I apologize, we were a little delayed here. The joys of virtual performing, there's always little technical issues and little glitches that we have to work out. So I'm sorry for the 4 minute delay. But I'm so glad that you stuck it out and you're here. My name is Nicholas Viselli. I'm the artistic director of Theater Breaking Through Barriers. And I am coming to you, guess, live, as live can be, from deep inside the heart of the Thunderdome here in beautiful New York City. And I want to welcome every one of you to Theater Breaking Through Barriers' fifth Virtual Playmakers Intensive, or VPI 5. Time capsule. Oh. I don't know if you had an opportunity. I hope you did to see our first two shows. We opened on Monday on Memorial Day. A happy Memorial Day. And we had a wonderful show by Catherine Grant. And then last night, we had another amazing show by the brilliant Farida Ahmed. But I'm telling you, my friends, the hits just keep on coming. We have such an incredible show for you tonight. I love this writer. Her name is MONE Marshall, and she wrote this really great play. And I think it's really, again, ideal for our theme and what we're all considering here. The play is called Safety On, and it was directed, my goodness, all the way from Israel by Ben Rauch. And we have of course, a stellar cast. We have Carlos Guillermo, Robin Marshall, and Pamela Sabaugh. So without any further ado, I don't want to delay proceedings any further. I want to turn over the reins to our wonderful audio describer, the beautiful sultry voice of Anne-Marie Morelli. Take it away, Anne-Marie.
Thanks, Nick. Hello, everyone. I am Anne-Marie Morelli. Firstly, I'd like to remind you all that during our virtual Playmakers Intensive, our stage is your computer screen. That said, currently the stage is dark. When the play begins, each character will appear in their own separate box on your screen. Tonight's play is Safety On. It was written by Monet Noel Marshall and directed by Ben Rauch. It features Robin Marshall as Safe. She has caramel skin, shoulder-length dark braids, silver hoop earrings, and glasses. She's wearing a white mock turtleneck shirt, and her background has an almost outer space quality. There are times during Gabriel and Deirdre's conversation when Safe will be heard, but not seen. Carlos Guillermo is Gabriel. He has light skin, dark eyes, and a dark beard and mustache. He is wearing a Harvard t-shirt, a black cap turned to the side, and an Apple Watch. His background at the start is a waiting room, but it will change to a book-filled vacation cabin when he speaks to Deirdre. Pamela Sabaugh is Deirdre. She has light skin, long dark hair that is pulled back. She's wearing a light scoop neck t-shirt and a lovely diamond pendant necklace. Her background is the same book-filled vacation cabin as Gabriel's. As the play begins, Gabriel is on his computer, about to make a connection with Deirdre.
Welcome back. This is the waiting room. From here, you can access your contacts, peruse your archives, and adjust your settings. Who can I connect you with today?
Deidre.
One moment, please. We are analyzing your social media and internet usage in order to curate a VR experience that supports the connection. We know that this conversation may be difficult, but don't worry. I am your simulated automated facsimile exchange, and I am coded for your care and confidence to create and curate stronger connections. But you can call me safe. Deidre has logged on. Would you like me to know the personalized vacation scene that we created just for you? For only 3 digidimes, you can connect with Deidre in a replica of that great family vacation you all took in 2008, complete with that tacky art she could not get enough of.
Sure.
Great. I'm sure Deidre will love it. I am admitting her into the room now. Happy connecting.
You're on mute. Yeah, you're still on mute.
How about now?
Yes, there you go. Oh, hey, Dee.
Hey. Okay, wait. Is this that room?
Yep.
How did you?
I don't know. Technology. I mean, it's scary.
Yeah, right.
Yep.
How are you?
How are you? Oh, okay.
You go first.
Yeah, I'm okay.
Yeah?
Yeah, I mean, for the most part, tired and not sure what exactly I have to be tired for.
Well, we are still in a Panasonic, as the kids say.
I like that.
Yeah, me too.
Hmm. So, how are you?
Are we done talking about you?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay. I'm making it. Just trying to get the kids through this school year. Shan took a semester off to help with things. I'm selling the house.
You are. Why? But is it money? Because you know, but
No,
could,
nothing like that. It just doesn't feel much like home anymore.
yeah, I get that.
Do you? Gabe, I appreciate you reaching out, I guess, but is there something you want to say?
Uh, yeah, just that I've been praying for you and the kids, and I'm here if you. Okay.
I'm sorry. It's just funny. You're funny.
Okay.
No, really. What did you want to talk about?
No, I'm serious. I want to help in whatever way
But
I
you've been
can.
so helpful already. That card you sent? Oh, and that meat and cheese box. So helpful.
Deidre, don't.
Don't what? Don't what, Gabriel? Please tell me what I shouldn't do.
Look, I wasn't trying to tell you what to do or not to do. Just listen.
Oh, I've listened. I've done nothing but listen. And
Readings from your Apple Watches indicate increased levels of cortisol and heightened heart rates. For your safety, Cool, Calm, Connected has been activated. There will be a 3-second buffer between responses. Remember to breathe and enjoy these soothing tones. Happy connecting.
What was that?
I
1, 2, 3.
don't know. This new technology.
Well, we wouldn't have to.
1, 2, 3.
Well, we wouldn't have to deal with it if you'd actually come to the funeral.
It
1, 2, 3.
it's a pandemic, D.
1, 2, 3.
Would you have come if it wasn't? Yeah, that's what I thought.
This is hard for me, talking to you like this.
Cool, Calm, Connected is disengaged. Happy connecting.
Maybe this would have been easier if we were together in a room, face to face.
So you could hold my hand and cry and manipulate my emotions. Yeah, I bet that would be easier for you.
God, Deidre, I'm sorry, okay? I'm sorry.
For what, Gabriel? Huh? What exactly are you sorry for?
For everything.
No, that's not good enough. Say it.
I can't.
Let me help you. Deidre, I'm sorry for not showing up to my brother's funeral.
Deidre, I already told you.
I'm sorry for not reaching out while you were raising 3 kids and caring for my dying brother.
God, Dee, please.
Deidre, I'm sorry for watching my brother beat on you for 15 years and saying absolutely nothing. And when you finally get up the nerve to leave him, begging you to stay because he had cancer. Deidre, I'm so sorry.
Uh-oh. Looks like someone needs a timeout. Your decibels exceed our community agreements, unless, of course, you were laughing. If so, please continue, and you can continue with your happy connections.
Ha ha!
Thank you. We are glad to know you are having so much fun.
Deidre, I am so sorry.
You are. You are so sorry. And you're a liar, a master manipulator, and a coward. This isn't an apology. This is you trying to pass on your guilt, and I don't need it. I don't need anything from you.
Deidre has disconnected. Would you like me to try to reconnect you?
No.
Congratulations, Gabrielle. That call lasted 4 minutes and 46 seconds. That's a new record.
Run it again.
You have been in this program for 2 hours, 36 minutes, and 7 seconds today, for a lifetime total of 84 hours, 42 minutes, and 19 seconds. We suggest a break. Would you like to listen to some calming music?
Run it again.
Are you sure? Prolonged use can disrupt one's ability to.
Run the simulation again.
Okay. Under the Reality Protection Act of 2026, we must warn you of the risks associated with long-term use of simulated automated facsimile exchanges. These can include, but are not limited to, an ability to distinguish between virtual, augmented, and physical reality, increased distrust and volatility in non-virtual relationships, and disregard for one's physical and biological needs. By continuing, you acknowledge that you understand, acknowledge, and accept these risks, and cannot hold Cloud.com liable for any damages at any time.
Yeah, I accept.
Welcome back. This is the waiting room. From here, you can access your contacts, peruse your archives, and adjust your settings. Who can I connect you with today?
I want to talk to Deidre.
One moment, please. We are analyzing your social media and internet usage in order to curate a VR experience that supports the connection. We know that this conversation may be difficult, but don't worry. I am your simulated automated facsimile exchange, and I am coded for your care and confidence to create and curate stronger connections. But you can call me safe.
End of play.
Ooh. Oh my goodness. I have to tell you, I love this play, and I find it also kind of very I guess it sort of rings true, and it's very chilling and a little bit disturbing. So all that said, I just want to bring everybody out because I thought it was so well done. Come on out, everybody. Woo! Woo, there he is, Ben Rauch, the director. Oh, MONE Marshall, our wonderful writer. And Robin Marshall, who is wonderful. Oh my God, Carlos Guillermo, and of course, Pamela Sabaugh. Oh, you guys. I really want to dive in here because I want to talk about this play a little bit because I think that it's really so. I find it kind of wonderful and sad and disturbing, and it's a whole bunch of things all at once. But I want to hear from our writer first, MONE. First of all, it's so good to see you. And I just want to sort of disclose all of this. MONE had originally written this show actually for the last intensive, and we couldn't perform it. Whatever the situation. That was the bad news. The good news is we get to do it now. So I've had this play for a couple of months now, and I'm just so glad that we were finally able to dive in and do it. Can you tell me what inspired you to write this?
Ooh. I think I've just been thinking about the way that technology has impacted all of us and how it can be a really lovely tool to connect, but also how it can thwart our ability to connect to each other. And I think I've been thinking a lot about like deep fakes and how the ways that people can like practice being human with things that are not human, and how will that impact our ability to have hard conversations with each other. Yeah.
I find it wonderful. I find it really, that's I guess what I really love about it. It's that idea that, you know, we have developed such a dependency on technology. I mean, it's a double-edged sword, just like, you know, I think there's so much good to it. And yet at the same time, it's also become, in a sense, very toxic, because it can also get in the way of our humanity and our interaction. It is not an old topic, but it has become more and more, I guess, important and present. I mean, of course, you think back to, for example, 1968, when Stanley Kubrick did 2001, and all you think of is Hal, who just, you know, I'm sorry, Dave, I can't do that. And to have that level of like being trapped by this, you know, automated machine is kind of creepy. But I want to sort of talk to the rest of you guys about it, because when you guys started rehearsing this, Ben, tell me what your impressions were. And I love your background, by the way, because it sort of is perfect for what we're doing here. Ben isn't really here right now. That's the simulation.
Thank you for hiring a simulated facsimile. Thank you.
I knew it.
Yeah. You know, I first of all have to say this is a director and a cast is only as good as the writing. No matter how good of a director or actor somebody is, they can make the writing kind of come alive, but it's only as good as the writing. And it's really profound. I mean, it's like what Monet was saying about, you know, deep fakes and just the way the world is, you know, people can take their own political agenda and they can put, you know, they can put somebody else's head on, or like adjust a setting. And this is like what she's talking about is like really kind of the future. And unfortunately, that people are not going to, we really have to fight against that. I think theater is the key, you know, to that, this communication, this live communication, showing up and seeing something live, or having something live in front of you on a computer screen. But, you know, I really, I was like, this is like really, first time I read it, I was like, I had to read it again because it's deep, you know. It's not like a surface piece. And as we explored it more, we found all these other things that we incorporated into it, that from my own experience with digital media and like being on Zoom, and like I teach on Zoom, and like, and a lot of that is good, but like some of it is also like we don't know how to like interact. It's easier to interact with a machine, but it's not really. Right, because the machine doesn't give us the machine doesn't understand that human beings can forgive. You know, human beings know that other human beings are fallible and that they can make mistakes. And that's really where, for me, where this lies, that like, that we're human and we need other human beings. Like, when interacting with a computer is not going to help our souls, you know, it's not going to help our interpersonal relationships, it's not going to be real love. You know?
No, it can't be.
Like leave you, like love, like a love can like walk out the door any day just because they're human beings, and they don't. That's what the powerful thing is. You know,
I find it so interesting and so fascinating. It's sort of that dark side, that double-edged issue. And this is not something, again, this is something that, if you know, when you look through, I don't want to just say through history, but you always see this sort of when you have artificial intelligence and sort of technology encroaching on humanity, when does something stop being a machine and start being human? You know, when it has a self-realization, when it can learn, you know, I mean, a lot of computers are programmed to only respond like, if this happens, then this happens. Oh yeah, I hear your voices are being raised. If you're not laughing, well then I need to. So like that kind of business it's just really, really fascinating. But I want to talk primarily now to Carlos and Pamela, because you know, tell me what this was like for you guys. I'm saving for you for last, Robin, because you get to play. You're the Hal in this one, so. Yeah, start. Pamela, you start.
It was a really a delightful challenge to figure out how to be the AI, like you say, to be responding and figure out what I'm responding to as you know, what all is in my memory banks, and is this a it was just really cool to have that, like, also like think about Deidre, like I worked on her as though she, you know, the character with this history, which is really it's really deep, as someone said, and the way it unfolds, I think, is really amazing. So it's just, I knew one thing I could work with, whether I was a human being or a fake facsimile, a deep fake, was needing to hear that. Like that could be programmed into me. I need to hear the specific thing that he did or did not do. And you know, I don't get that, but it was really a challenge and fun. And I mean, I honestly, I hadn't really I'd heard of deep fakes, but I'd never watched them. And it's horrifying. It's absolutely horrifying. And I watched some that weren't as good, and then some that were like scary good. But there was always something there that was like slightly, I don't know, set. I don't know. There might be an eye tracking thing, or a gesture that would always be repeated. So I don't know. It was, but like if it was really, it's hard to, it's just really creepy. And that idea that these two people can he wants this connection, she wanted so much from him, and he's fiddling around with this deep fake of her instead of going out and getting her. And it's like all that sadness and all that weirdness it was really cool. It was really cool to work on all that.
It really is fascinating to me. And I do find that the whole deep fake thing really interesting. The technology is just getting sharper and sharper. I know that it's still not quite there yet, but yet it is, my guess is it is there. It's just not quite at our consumerist level yet, but it will be. That's generally the way it is. Like by the time we get consumer technology, it is already like, that's already obsolete. What, you know, the next levels have already been developed and we just don't have access to that yet. Weird, but it's disturbing. I want to talk, I'll talk about this more in the next talk back, but it's particularly disturbing for people in our profession. I remember back in the early 90s, I guess it was, they released the stage show Time in Britain, in London, and the show featured a hologram, a full body hologram of Laurence Olivier. So Laurence Olivier appeared on stage for a time, but he wasn't there. It was a filmed hologram of him. And at that time, everyone was freaked out because it's like, so Laurence Olivier can die, and yet he will still appear on stage in a holographic form. So if that could be done back in the early 90s, we know that, the ability to manipulate people's images. So like, you can, you don't need actors anymore. I can build an actor technologically using the most desirable features I want, and that can become a big star. It's weird.
The Brits are still gonna get our roles even after they're dead.
Yeah. That started, I think, in the 90s too, but that's a whole other conversation.
Exactly.
If you guys want that, you got to tune in to the next show, because then we'll be like, our little VPI after hours kind of thing. So Carlos, tell me from your perspective, because I think you're the real guy in this, right? You're the one who's, tell me how you felt about approaching this role.
This was a lot of fun to jump in the pool with.
Mm-hmm.
Because I would think back on my own experiences, losing a friend and still having that voicemail on your phone, and you would listen to that voicemail and you would replay it. So it's like, well, what if you were able to bring that voicemail to life and actually still interact with your friend that passed away? How would that feel? What would you do? And then I would also think about, just in general, conversations that I would have with myself, oh my gosh, my boss said this, and I said this, or maybe I should have said this instead. And if I said this, then this would have happened. And then just going down that downward spiral, and then going back and starting it all over again. So basically you're in this loop of did I say the right thing? Did I make the right move? And then you're questioning everything, and you're like, well, what if I did this differently? And what would that change? Would that change the outcome? And you're basically just, spinning around and around. You're chasing your own tail. Mm-hmm. And I can definitely relate to that.
It's really such an interesting thing, because once again, I'm assuming, and please tell me I'm wrong about this, that, you're just trying to, I guess, rather than trying to resolve the issue in person. I don't even know if you can resolve this relationship in actual person, but I'm assuming you're trying to figure out the best way to proceed. So you're doing it all virtually instead of doing it, which I think is so important. It says so much to our world, right? It says we spend more time doing virtual than the live business. I find it like, I find all of it, sorry, I don't know why that, my little thing popped up. I don't know why, but these plays are tying together. Like our play last night, tonight, I think tomorrow night, certainly, there's elements of this idea of, the crossover between what's real, what's not, what's here today, what's here tomorrow, speaking through the past or the future. There's so much involved in all of this. I find it really, really fascinating. And I love the fact that you have to be the the subject, that's sort of both immersed in this, can't sort of get out of it. At the same time, you're also sort of being played upon by all of it.
Yeah, it's like Monet said, just using a machine in order to learn how to be more human.
Yeah.
Paraphrasing there, but basic, that general aspect.
You're wonderful. And I think your performances are so well balanced, because the big reveal at the end, of course, is that you discover that Deirdre is not real. That is really a great reveal, because that's not something that you think. I mean, you sort of think it's some sort of a computer way that you are able to connect to whatever, patch each other up, whatever. So it's such an interesting thing, which now leads me to you, Robin. First of all, you're so wonderful. All of you are wonderful, but I just think you're such a one. You've got such an incredible. You're so talented. You've got such an incredible energy. I love what I love watching you perform. What was this piece like for you?
Well, when I first read it, it kind of reminded me of, there's this movie, and I think it's called I, Robot.
I, Robot.
Yeah, and it kind of reminded me of that a little bit, But but even deeper than that, because it reminded me of that on one level, but then I'm like, wait a minute, because it didn't dawn on me until I read it maybe 2 or 3 times, that wait a minute, is he like sitting at a computer or something, just like doing this thing over and over and over again, you know? Yeah. And so then it took me to a place of, thinking about what if, I mean, just going way out. What if he gave Deidre the answer that she wants, or what she wants? How does the program change?
That's a good question. Does it change? Who programmed this? Like,
Right.
I'm assuming, that's what I find. These are all questions that I find really fascinating about the work. But I think ultimately we just see this man on a wheel, who just, can't get off the wheel. Obviously realizes he made mistakes, and just the fact that he can't get off the wheel just shows that he's still making a mistake. It's a great statement. I think this play is a great statement about our dependence, our addiction to technology, and how oftentimes technology is replacing humanity or substituting humanity. I don't know. I also find it interesting that as a theater company during this pandemic, we became so reliant on technology, because if we didn't have this as live performers, what would we do?
Yeah.
So trying to keep some humanity in something that can become very, very, whatever, cold and impersonal and whatever. Yeah. I don't know. I just find that really such an interesting play, and such an interesting thing to talk about and concept. Yeah. To discuss. Sort of a question for all of you, I guess. As performers, as artists who as people who need the human interaction to continue the work that we do. Do you find what we are doing here disturbing? And any of you can answer it. And if you do, why? If you don't, I'd like to know why as well.
You mean like the intensives, or that it's all on Zoom, you mean?
Yeah, the idea of trying to integrate our live art into a virtual format. And I have to be clear here. This isn't like film or television. It's a hybrid. I look at this as a new medium. Okay. We sort of gave very specific prompts in the sense that we didn't want to get too wrapped up in, like, there's these wonderful add-ons to all of you out here that we could really modify Zoom so we have more of an opportunity to manipulate the images. We can control who gets seen, who doesn't get seen. We can add special effects. We can do all kinds of nifty things, which become more cinematic and less, and I have no problem exploring all of that. It's just not for this intensive, because what interests me about this is the creation of new work and I want it to be about the word. It needs to sort of start with that. And we can manipulate that and play with it at a later time. But I wanted it to try to be as raw and as much of a live, almost as live a stage performance as it could be on this platform.
Yeah. I'm not disturbed at all by it at all. I mean, I'm disturbed in general, but not by this. As my own, my personally. No. You know, I remember when like Rent came out, right? And Mark has the camera on stage, and they started projecting the images like on stage of what was really happening live, right? It wasn't recorded in any way, and people were like, I don't, this is not the live theater. And it's like, it was live. It was like, you're using this camera. And there was like a bunch of people that were like, I don't know. No, this is not like, you can't, it's like images and it's video and they're taking away from like and people were really disturbed by that. And now, I mean, they've done like actual pre-recorded stuff that wasn't live in Broadway stages. And I remember that was such a thing for certain people. But no, I really don't think there's that big of a difference between theater acting and film acting. I think real is real, and if you want to be excited, you're excited in a realistic way, unless you're doing something over the top, and that goes over stage and film. It's I don't think there's a big difference. This actually excites me, honestly, that I can be anywhere in the world and acting with my friends, my comrades from New York City, and feeling like I'm there and feeling like I feel like really good about it.
Yeah.
That's just me.
Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you for that. What about anybody else? How do you feel about all this, Monet, as a writer, you know, and as a writer of plays, you know, writing for this medium is a bit different, obviously. Just writing for any medium, film or television is also different. But what is it like to write a play for this medium?
I think because I create a lot of site-specific work, I just think of it as a different site. So the site is like, these are the parameters of the site, this is the box, and this is how we could use it, and this is the tech that we have access to. But at the end of the day, I really want to write stories that are really about the characters, no matter what. Like, that we could pick up this play and do it on a stage, or we could do it on Zoom, but what's most important is like, it's the people and the heart and the plot and the characters, and I feel like that's what's going to make good theater, no matter where we're performing it and no matter how we're doing it.
Yeah, I completely agree. I really do. I like the idea of sort of setting it to say, don't try to write a stage play. We're trying to, now I think transferring stage plays to this, it's an interesting challenge. And I don't know, art is pliable. You can do with it whatever you want, you know, but I thought it would be easier and more digestible. Also, that idea of being able to suspend your disbelief. If it's written for the stage and you have a scene where all of the people are supposed to be in the same room, and now you're trying to duplicate that on a flat screen with separate boxes, unless you have some camera techniques or whatever parlor tricks, like, you know, passing the drink through the screen or whatever, it just doesn't work. That's a bridge too far, I think, in terms of suspending your disbelief. Not saying it can't be done, but it just takes a lot more work and sort of pushes it into a different medium. But to write for this medium is a little bit, I don't know. I just think it sort of clears away those obstacles a bit. How about the actors? Tell me from your experience what it, you know, how does, aside from feeling the audience, feeling that energy and, you know, whatever, how is doing this work different from doing what you would do live, like on the stage?
You know, it's interesting. I at least for me, this feels really intimate, much more so than on stage. You know, you have the lights, you have the audience, you have all of that out there, and you know it's there. And it just feels like I'm even closer to all of the other actors, to everyone involved in this play, more so than I would than I feel, you know, doing it in New York City on a stage somewhere.
Mhm.
I know it's odd, but yeah, it just feels more intimate. That's really the best way that I could describe it for myself.
I find that interesting, and I will agree with you about that. But I want to hear what Pamela and Robin have to say. How do you feel about all this, Pamela?
Well, I agree with really what has been said. Ben, Monet, Carlos said. I mean, I at the end of the day, it's all about connecting and being with that other person, and or you know, telling that story, or living that truth. And I think there are challenges, but like Carlos says, you know, they may be different on the technology, the screen, the lighting, and figuring out how to really get present and not get too wrapped up in this space that you're in, and getting into that space with the other person. But like once you start rolling, once you got, you know, just the basic acting, what do I want, you know, what's the relationship, who am I? I mean, that's all that doesn't change. And it's absolutely true that I'm able to work with you know, all these wonderful people from different states, from in different countries. And it it does have an intimacy that there's still a connection. There's still an impact that we're having on each other, and just trusting that it's happening on the audience as well. But we're able to live it, you know. You're able to live it,
Yeah, for sure.
because
For sure.
stage has the same oddities, you know. You can you see the wings, you've got the strange, you're having to hit your mark, and you're having to think in your brain about all of those technical things while you're making that connection with your fellow actors on stage. And at the end of the day, you know, it's theater, it's storytelling.
Yeah, I agree. What do you think, Robin?
Um, I'm just sitting here listening, you know, to like everyone, and I I guess I hadn't really thought about it. I mean, it was just something that had to happen because we had to go on, you know. Um, but I'm glad it happened because if we didn't have this platform, all of this work, this like wonderful work that's like coming out of, you know, TBTB and like all these other like, you know, companies, you know, I know that we're doing like podcasts and stuff like that, and it's really great, you know, to be able to um, train or to perform in this platform um, because it does stretch you and you realize that you have to pull on different muscles than you would if you were actually, you know, in front of an audience relying on them, you know.
Mm-hmm.
um, but I do feel the intimacy. Back to what you were saying, um, I I do feel I feel the intimacy, um, definitely, and even between the two characters, Gabrielle and Deidre, I could definitely feel the, you know, the intimacy, the familiarity, you know, um, you know, just because it starts out just like a normal conversation, and who knows that it's gonna go south, you know, and then it does, you know. um, it it could like easily be like a dating app, where
For sure.
the two get together and they hook up. I mean, because when I first read it, I was like, oh, is like, are they flip? So, I'm enjoying this, honestly. I really am. I feel safe.
Mhm.
I mean, because I know that some people, and I know I'm gonna go a place, but I know some people have been vaccinated, some may have not been vaccinated, but I just feel safe, and I'm glad that you're doing this. So there.
Oh, well, thank you. I, I find this all such a fascinating topic, and it is 8:25. So this is the thing. I want to make sure I give you guys at least a few minutes break to get some water and everything. So I think we'll end this conversation here, and we'll continue it after when we do our next show. But I want to thank you guys. Such an amazing job. All the work you did, beautiful writing. Ben, what a great direction, and all of the technical elements are just amazing. And you guys just rock the house. You rock the house. So I want to thank all of you guys for watching. Again, apologies for the late start. The next one will not be a late start. I promise you that. So again, hopefully, if you like what you saw tonight, please, first of all, join us in like 4 minutes. We're going to be on Facebook, but tell your friends, tell your family, let everybody know. Okay. We are going to be continuing our intensive through Sunday, June 13th. So we have so many great shows lined up. If make sure you friend us on Facebook, subscribe to our YouTube channel. If you really like us, go to our website, tvtv.org. You can see all of our past work. You can see some of our work that we did with our past virtual intensives. And if you really, really like us, at the top of the homepage of our website, just click the donate button. And if you wish to support us with a little donation, we are deeply grateful. And then we consider you also our partners in being able to continue all of our work. So again, thank you so much. Such a great show tonight. Now, tomorrow evening, oh my goodness, we have another great show. So I'm sorry, I'm a little partial, but I'm not lying. I promise you, you will love it. Tomorrow's show, well, was written by one of our stars of tonight's show, Pamela Sabaugh. The play is called Spooky Action at a Distance. Talk about that whole sort of, yeah, I'm telling you, it's all of a piece, my friends. The play was written by Pamela Sabaugh, directed by Richard Rose, and it stars Nick Walter, Sean Phillips, and Jack Sims. So I hope you'll tune in tomorrow, 7:30 right here, 8:30, of course, on YouTube. On behalf of all of us, I want to thank you all so much for being a part of our work tonight. And we'll see you very soon. See you tomorrow night. Okay. Take care, everyone. Bye-bye.